As we get to the end of 2024, we need to look at what models we built. A staple of being a model maker is looking back on all our previous builds for that year and looking at what went well, what went badly, and where we think we're going to be going in the future. This is kind of a part one. We're going to have a look at what we're doing in 2025 in another video, but today let's have a look at my top 3 models of 2024. Hey guys, it's model making time, and as we said, we're here to look at my top 3 models of the year. And I normally do top 5, but this year, due to various different circumstances, I didn't build as many as I usually do. Of course, this year I broke my rib. I've had some massive challenges with work. Hopefully all good stuff though. And I've also had a lot of change to my personal life, and that's meant that building has been less consistent this year than I would have liked. Next year, it's looking a lot rosier, but I still want to have a look at what went really well this year and just the builds I'm really proud of. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name's Modeler, and I often build kits that are a bit out there, whether they're really rare kits or they're just kits that people know are not particularly great. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can be kept up to date on my latest videos, and you should leave a comment down below as well. What's your favorite build that you've done this year? And if you haven't built one yourself, what's the favorite video you've seen? It doesn't have to be mine. Let's share the love of model making. Obviously, before we get into the actual top 3, I do also want to say just a massive thank you. You guys are what have made 2024 so successful. Building a community of lovely, positive model makers has been something I've wanted to do for a long time. I think particularly with online life, things can always be quite negative, and in the modeling space we have such hypercritical thinking sometimes that I think it can be really hard and scary for newcomers. So I've always wanted to build a community of like-minded, just supportive people, and I think we're doing that. So I want to give a massive shout out to all of you. Give yourselves a round of applause. And with that, let's get into the video. And at number 3, we have the SAB105 1/72 scale from Marox. I'd wanted to do this model for so long. Doing the history of Swedish display teams has been something I've always wanted to do, and I think it's just because I grew up with a fascination of Swedish aircraft, mainly because when I was a kid there was something, I can't remember what it was, but there was just something with a Swedish insignia on it, and I thought that's really awesome, and I just became obsessed with Swedish aviation, and really the aviation of any country that wasn't really Britain, Russia or America. So I've always wanted to do this. I've always loved display teams, and I was very lucky in 2023 to see the solo SAB105 display at the Royal International Air Tattoo, which was the last display of the type in the UK because it's now been withdrawn from service with every operator. But that display was special to me because it was a Team 60 aircraft, so I may not have got to see the team in person, although I've got many videos of them. I have finally got to see at least the aircraft flying with that scheme. Now the Marox kit is well known not to be the best kit in the world, mainly just because it's a relatively short run. Even though it's like a mainstreamish kit, it's still a limited run kit, just not quite as limited run as, you know, some of the individual kits that you will see. I've been so scared by for so long about doing this kit. So many other people had told me that it was a horrible kit to make. Now, when I built the kit, was it the best kit in the world? No, it wasn't super great, but I think it was so hard and overwhelming that I wouldn't build it again. No, I've got another one to build, and I'll probably build a couple more at some point because it was just a fun aircraft and there's so many lovely schemes for it. Is this the best aircraft kit I've ever produced? No, but I am proud of my airbrushing skills on it. It's not accurate and I got a couple of details wrong, but overall I was really proud of how this came out. And it was one of the first aircraft that I did entirely with an airbrush, which I thought was really cool. I think I ended up using both of these airbrushes here, which are from Fender and Gallery. Thank you both for supporting the channel by sending me these airbrushes. And yeah, I think it turned out really nice in the end. Number 2, Concord. Concord. Often viewed as the worst Airfix kit that's ever been made. And well, here it is. Whoa. I'm sorry, but no, we've not even seen Concord yet. We're not putting that in the top 3 models of the year when I've not even released the video yet. Look, the model was completed in 2024, but no, it's not out yet. It's just taking its time. So it's going to be 2025 before we even see that. So yes, it is probably actually my number 1 model, I put it at number 2 to be kind, but you're not seeing it, so let's go and see an actual number 2. Number 2, the F-117A Nighthawk 1/72nd scale Revel kit. A legendary aircraft, a true sci-fi icon, a plane that looks both dated and realistic and recognizable but unknown. This was one of my favorite builds of the year, in part because it was just so simple, and also because it was an experiment in single color painting. Now, this aircraft was a Revel kit, and it's one of the really easy click together kits, or it was originally going to be, but it's not. And it's just a really simple kit. It went together in pretty much an afternoon and was painted in much the same time. Because this was a pure black aircraft, I did it as an experiment on how to paint black without it just looking like a black blob, and I think I did quite well on this. In fact, this is one of the aircraft that sits on my side piece, and I'm still very proud to see it in the corner of the room just looking really crisp. It wasn't my most successful video of the year, but it definitely was one that I think was well received, and I'm really proud of it. And that's half the battle when you're doing model making, is just being proud of your own creation. It's so easy to be so hypercritical. In fact, on this kit, there's a couple of bits I got wrong. I think from what someone said, the inside of my Bombay was the wrong color, and it is what it is. I'm not gonna go back and change it because, to be honest, no one else is gonna see it or know about it, and I just love how it looks overall. There's also a couple of the decals which are probably silvered slightly, but again, that was just a lesson for me about making sure I definitely gloss coat before I put my decals on, because in this instance I think I just got a bit lazy. It is what it is. Overall, I'm really proud of how this model came out. I think it's definitely one of my best kits probably I've ever made, and I'm just really impressed at how I managed to make it look black with some weathering whilst also maintaining the proper stealth aesthetic of the aircraft. That was a real challenge, and I really want to do an SR71 at some point because I think I've got this technique down and I could put some more extreme weathering on it, particularly with that aircraft because it used to strip the paint from itself due to the extreme heat it used to face from how fast it was flying. So yeah, really proud of this because it's opened so many doors for me and really excited. Now, I would do honorable mentions, but I think at this point it would just be me pretty much just listing all of the models I've done this year. But I did want to give a shout out to a couple of people I collabed with over the course of this year. Obviously, I did a video which was just about the modeling community, but there were a couple of people who I collabed with actual builds on. Now, that was Sully, Fenris, and Captain VFC. So thank you all for helping me improve as a model maker this year. Sully, you taught me how to weather my aircraft using oil paints. VFC, you taught me that I should never give up and I can make a bad kit look somewhat decent. And Fenris, you helped me master the art of pre-shading my model and gave me one of the best metallic finishes I think I've ever had on any kit ever. So thank you all so much. So I guess with that, we need to go on to kit number 1, the Sudo SO6000 Triton 1/72nd scale Mach 2 kit. This video performed pretty badly, which I expect. So for those of you who don't know, every February, well, I say every February for the last 2 years that I've been doing this anyway, I have done something called French February. If you haven't figured it out from the name, it's where we build French subjects or French aircraft mostly in February. Originally, it was just something I did because I have a fascination with French aviation and also with French model manufacturers such as Hella. Over time though, this has now involved Captain VFC and Fenris, and hopefully this year we'll get even more people involved because it's just something I think is kind of fun to just theme your builds for a bit. Well, of course this year I did the Southwest SO6000 Triton. This is the first French jet aircraft to ever fly. Now the video didn't do the best in the world, but I'm not too bothered by that because this aircraft was special to me for a number of reasons. Firstly, it was the first aircraft I tried to airbrush since getting my airbrushes off gallery. It's not actually either of these ones, it's one of the other airbrushes they gave me, and I've got the Mobius which I use more. It was one of the first ones I tried to airbrush with, and I was using Life Colors Metallics series, and it didn't go to plan because I got the mixing ratio wrong, but it's a big learning curve, and to be honest, I'm now pretty good with them, or at least I think I am. I also know how to clean my airbrushes now, crucially. That's something I've learned I really need to get better at. Also, this model was one that I bought when I went to Scale Model World in 2023 with Mr. Modeler for the first time. In fact, he bought me this kit, so that made it even more special. And finally, this is a kit that I had been looking to get for so long. You guys know what it's like when you find a subject that you just absolutely adore and you need to build, but then the kit has been a limited run kit, or it's just one that you can never find anywhere and is sold for extortionate value, and that was definitely the case here. So in the end, I ended up managing to find this at Scale Model World for a reasonable price. It's my first Mac 2 kit, so I also learned how bad they can be to put together. But overall, I think I ended up with a really nice model. Is it the best in the world? No. Would I do a better job if I build it today? Absolutely. But ultimately, I'm quite proud of this. It was my first model of the year and signified one of the last models that I would build outside of my own modeling space. It set a standard for me of 2024 of not letting control me. It set me up to explore different subjects and really push myself as a modeler, and for that I'm really grateful. Well, that's it for my models of the year. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen here today. Obviously, we're looking forward to 2025, so I will do a video of what to expect over the coming year because there's a couple of interesting things in store. And for people who've been watching my videos regularly, you probably already know some of the things that will be coming in the next year. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so you can keep up to date on my videos. And if you want to speak to like-minded, lovely modelers, then join the Discord, which you can do so in the description below. If you want to support the channel to make sure that I can keep building these weird kits, then make sure to become a channel member. You can do so as either a starter kit or advanced kit level member, depending on what's best for you. The only difference is advanced kits get shouted out at the end of the video. You're all absolutely amazing. Thank you for making 2024 one of the most successful years for me ever on YouTube, and I really look forward to seeing you in 2025, hopefully a bit more consistently. Well, maybe. I'll see you all in the next one, and in the next year. Bye!
Thanks for watching the video, especially my channel members who help fund the videos and make them possible. An extra shout out goes to my advanced kit level members: Philip Jones, Giles Parker, Dafty Duck, Bob and Genevieve Albridge, David Barber, Taggers365, Jeff's Dioramas, Iron Duke, and my two longest subscribers and supporters of the channel, Crazy Loacher and Explosive Water. If you like what you've seen here today, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay notified of new videos. And, well, there's another video here that is recommended just for you, so let's go have a watch.